One of my favorite things to crochet is granny squares because you can make so many different types of stuff with granny squares. So today I'm going to be giving you 20 crocheted granny square project ideas. Let's begin. The first thing you can make is obviously blankets, but that will definitely take a while and you're going to need a whole lot of granny squares. So I haven't made one yet, but one day I'm going to make a granny square blanket. I think they look so pretty, especially with like the little flower granny squares. Those are my favorite granny squares, not only to make, but they just like look so pretty. So maybe one day I'll get around to making a whole blanket with the granny squares, but for now, I think I'm going to stick to a little bit smaller projects because that is a big one. And of course, to go along with your blanket, you got to make a granny square pillow, like these pictures right here. They are just so pretty. Now that's something I'm more likely to get around to making just because it's not like a whole blanket. So maybe that'll be my next project idea. I don't know, but they're so cute. And if you want, you can make like a little matching pair of your granny square blanket and then your pillow. That'd be so cute, especially like on your couch or something. Granny square tote bags. They're gorgeous, they're beautiful, they're all over Pinterest, and like who doesn't want one? Here's one granny square tote bag that I made. It has these little straps and it opens like this. I went ahead and sewed a lining in this with the pocket right here. That's the pocket. And I use this thing more often than you think. I actually am so glad I made this. I started making the squares for this project without a project in mind, and then I realized, oh, I should make a granny square tote bag. And that's one of my favorite things about the granny squares. Is like you can just have like a whole stack of them, have no idea what you're gonna make, and then you'll come up with something and put them to use. And you don't just have to make tote bags. You can also make little purses with your granny squares. This one is just like a tiny little purse with multicolored granny squares, and I love this thing. The only thing is, it started to fall apart, so I gotta fix it. And also this one doesn't have a lining either, but it's still a good bag and it's cute and I love it. Okay, the next type of bag you can make is one that looks like this. I use this one more than the previous purse that I made. This is kind of like a tote bag, but it's smaller. I consider it as a purse. It has two straps like this and opens up, and then inside you have your little purse. I wanted to sew a lining in this one with some blue fabric that I had, but then that fabric decided to disappear and I can't find it anywhere, so this bag has no lining. But it's okay, it works really well. And I actually have a full tutorial for this pattern if you want to learn to make it. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to make this exact bag. It's so cute. Since we're talking about granny square bags, I'm gonna go ahead and give you all the bag ideas that I had. The next one is a drawstring bag, one that looks like this. I think they are so cute and they don't look too hard to make either. I haven't made one yet, but I will eventually because I think they're so pretty. Especially if you made these with like flowered granny squares or some of the more decorative granny squares. I think that would be like so pretty. You can make a fanny pack with granny squares. And look how cute they are. I personally am not a fan of fanny packs. I'm more of a purse girly, but I do really love the way these look and I think they're so pretty. And I think they only use like maybe 4 granny squares. I don't really know because I'm not currently looking at the picture, but they look like they're pretty easy and fast to make. You probably do have to know how to sew to make this one if you want it to have like a nice zipper and stuff, but I think those will be really fun to make. This next thing, I don't really know if it is considered a bag. Actually, these next 2 items, but that is a tiny little drawstring bag with just like 2 granny squares. Actually, what is in here? I don't know. I made this for my sister. Oh, look at that. There's slime in here. Oh, it's frog slime. Well, that's cool. Anyway, this is the bag that I made. I made it with 2 flowered granny squares and it is just so pretty. And then just has these 2 little strings that tighten at the top. This was really fast to make. Like if you're looking for a quick project, definitely would recommend making this. And this would be so pretty. And those little mushroom granny squares, I don't know how to make those, but one day I'm gonna learn how to make those mushroom granny squares. This next idea really is not a bag, but I'm keeping it in the bag category because it looks like a tiny bag. This is a little earbud case. Here we have earbuds and we have case. You can open it up and put your earbuds inside, just like that. And then you can put this on your backpack. I made this and a few other little earbud cases on a road trip and I actually made a video of everything I crocheted on that road trip. And so if you want, you can watch that video too. That'll be in the description. And I talk a little bit more about this tiny little thing. I think it's cute. I actually have a lot of bag ideas, but they're not bags. The next thing is these cute little pencil cases. With this, you probably would want a zipper, so you probably need to know how to sew to make these. They look like they would not take much time, and they're cute. And that's something you probably use every day. And you can make these with so many different colors. Think of all the color opportunities with all these different things. Sounds like so much fun. The next thing is a book cover. Now, I've seen these on Pinterest a lot, but I just cannot think of a practical way to use this. Like, do you put your book in it every single time? They are adorable, and I'd probably want to make one anyway just because of that. There's different kinds you can make. You can make some that look like a little envelope and it's just like with one big granny square and then you somehow make it look like this. And then there's some that are made with the traditional granny squares sewed together to look like this. I think they're adorable. You can make a little cup cover or one of those phone carriers. They kind of look the same to me, but I know they're different, okay? But I just put them together because they look similar. And those don't use too many granny squares. And that would definitely be a really quick idea. Now the whole phone carrier thing, I also don't see a practical use for. but it's cute, so you can make it anyway. The cup one seems a little more realistic. Maybe I'll make one. And then you can also make those little mug cozies. I think these are so cute, and I'm actually planning on making a few of these soon, especially now that fall's coming up. We get to make all the fall cozy crocheted stuff, and I am so excited. Oh! This wasn't on the list either, but I just remembered I want to make some of those, like, it keeps your bowl of soup warm so you're not burning your fingers as you're eating your soup. I don't know. If I find a picture, I'll put one up. They look like this. I don't really know if you can make these with granny squares or not, but that's something I plan on making because I love me some good soup, especially during fall and when the weather gets all cold. And the next thing on this bag kind of category of stuff are these little baskets. I think these are so pretty. And you can also use these as like little tissue holders. Like you put your little tissue box in there and like holds it and makes it look all pretty. You can make that and it's really cute. Oh, and then I also saw someone put all of like their toiletries in one of them too. All right, so now we've gone through all the bag kind of category. I still don't know if that's accurate to all the things I showed. The next category of stuff is going to be wearable items, so like hats, gloves, and other things. For hats, you can make these cute little bucket hats. I was actually planning on making a few of these with little flowered granny squares, but that did not happen because the squares started falling apart because of the way I sewed in the ends, so I gotta get better at that. But that's a cute little project to do. I haven't made this before either, but you can make granny square gloves, and it's like with just a couple granny squares, and you like sew them together, and then like it makes a glove. They look like the pictures on screen now. And my hands get so cold during the winter, so I'm definitely gonna make a pair of these for me soon before the weather gets cold. You can make these cute little hair bandanas. I actually have a tutorial on how you can make one of those, and that'll be linked in the description as well. But the one I made used very big granny squares, and I think if I were to remake that, I'd use a thinner type of yarn and make the granny squares a little bit tinier just so it would fit on your head a little bit better. But these are so cute. This is more of like a summer item, but you can still wear this during like fall and winter and spring and all the seasons. Sweaters. Granny square sweaters are so pretty. I'm not big into crocheting clothes just because it takes a while and I don't have much patience, but I did make this little sweater, except I don't like wearing it because I didn't really use very soft yarn. So if I were to make another sweater, I'd use softer yarn. So don't waste all your time if you're not gonna wear it. But it's pretty. I know this one's not made with granny squares, but the granny square ones are really pretty. And I think I'd try making one of those, or maybe like one of the cardigans with the granny squares next time I make a clothing item, because like I've said a million times, I think it's pretty. I have two things left in this category, and that is granny square scarves. I mean, look at it. They're gorgeous. And slippers. I don't really know if many people are gonna make these, but if you do, please let me know, because I'm curious to know how those feel. I don't really know if I'd make those. I have two more items left of the whole thing, and they're just kind of like miscellaneous type items, so there's no category for them. But if you know me, I like chickens, and I have a lot of chickens actually. And one of my favorite things I've ever crocheted was these little chicken coasters, and I have a tutorial in case you want to watch that, link in description. I use this thing every day, and I just think it's the cutest thing ever. You can make a granny square chicken. Look at these photos. They're so cute. I gotta make one of these soon. But it's like one granny square and they like folded it together, stuffed it, and put a little face on it. It's so cute. You know I'm about to make one of these soon. And this last idea is using your granny squares as a coaster, because they're like the perfect size, and if you got extras, you can use them as that. Especially if you have a whole bunch of matching ones, you can have like a whole matching set of coasters. And they're really pretty. I wonder how many times I said it's really pretty. Probably a lot. Anyway, that's all the ideas I had. I had so much fun making this video, especially looking for all the ideas, because that's what I do in my free time anyway. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a like, and let me know down below if you want me to make more videos like this. It doesn't have to be granny square ideas, because that's kind of like only one thing. It could be a whole range of things. I was thinking about doing a gift idea one, because I'm always making crochet gift ideas. Like, that's one of my favorite things. Also, let me know if you'd plan on doing any of these ideas, because I love reading all your comments. It's so fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!